Arlington's girls hockey team is TD Garden bound as they compete for the state title, this after a banner season. We talked to Arlington High School's athletic director about this extraordinary season for both the girls and the boys hockey teams, and plans for the new athletic season just days away. This and much more as ACMi News starts right now.
From McLennan Park to Spy Pond, from Poets Corner to the Mystic River, we have Arlington covered. We're your neighbors, a friend you can turn to, giving you stories that count from people who care. Dedicated, determined, dependable. This is ACMi News.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of ACMi News. I'm Drew Weisberg, glad you could join us.
And I'm Paul Werlin. We'll get to the Spy Ponders and their incredible season in just a few minutes. But first, here are the stories we're working on for you this week. Blame it on the Russian invasion of Ukraine or blame it on infrastructure problems caused by the pandemic. Either way, gas prices are going through the roof, and there doesn't seem to be any let-up. ACMi News talks to an Arlington gas station owner and his customers, all of whom are feeling the pain at the pump. It's been just over 2 years since the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 the latest worldwide pandemic. Even though Arlington's COVID numbers have been on the decline in recent weeks, there is still ample room for uncertainty. ACMi News talks to the town manager, who reflects on Arlington's response to this dreaded disease in the last 700 plus days, and the lessons we all have learned. And investigators have new details to report regarding that house fire that displaced 2 families in East Arlington last month. It has to do with a carelessly tossed smoke. We have an update.
Now on to that story. New details to report regarding that house fire that broke out February 20th at 10 White Street in East Arlington. Several people were displaced as a result of the fire. Here's ACMi News Director Jeff Barnd with an update.
Arlington fire officials now say careless disposal of marijuana smoking materials caused the February 20th fire at this 2-family home at 10 White Street in East Arlington. On that Sunday night, the temperature was 22 degrees, and there were high winds, which hampered firefighters' efforts to douse the fire quickly. You may recall the fire sustained $600,000 damage, according to a report submitted by Deputy Fire Chief Ryan Melly. The blaze left at least 7 people homeless at the time, including an occupant on the first floor of this building. Town fire crews say the blaze originated from the first floor of the back porch of the house, and the fire department report says this was the site where that occupant had been smoking a marijuana cigarette roughly a half an hour before fire crews say the man reported flames on the back porch. According to Your Arlington, he attempted to extinguish the cigarette himself on a piece of cardboard or a piece of plastic, but some sort of spark or an ember remained, rekindling the fire that swept through the home on that very cold Sunday night. This report by the fire department concludes that the fire was accidental and that the official cause was careless disposal of smoking materials. The Arlington Fire Department report estimates the dollar loss to be at $600,000, $500,000 to the home, and $100,000 to furniture and other contents within the home. For ACMi News, I'm Jeff Barnd.
GoFundMe campaigns have raised more than $55,000 for the family on the second floor and more than $8,000 for the residents of the first floor who are current college students or recent graduates.
2 years ago this month, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 the world's latest pandemic. The disease has since infected nearly 500 million people in nearly 200 nations and killed more than 6 million people worldwide. And it's not over yet. The latest state health numbers show 835 probable cases in Arlington, more than 1,400 recovered cases of COVID-19 in town, and 89 deaths. Earlier this month, we had the chance to talk to town manager Adam Chapdelaine about these 2 extraordinary years in Arlington. He reflected on the horrors and the triumphs that this town endured ever since the first COVID case in town was reported on March 9th, 2020.
Yesterday was actually the 2-year anniversary. March 9th was the 2-year anniversary of our first case in Arlington. So we were one of the earlier cases in the Commonwealth, one of the earlier places to have a case. So yesterday, Christine Barngiorno, Director of Health and Human Services, put together a gathering for staff to sort of memorialize, maybe even some ways celebrate that we came through these past 2 years together. And shared remarks from Christine and those on her staff. We heard from the fire chief. I had an opportunity to say a few things, look back at some slideshows and videos that staff and the team had put together that memorialized the early decision-making, the masking, the continued decision-making, the vaccinations that have been ongoing, and then the boosters beyond that, really memorializing all the good work that's been done by the town and volunteers over the past couple of years. And I think my reflection, I said this yesterday to those gathered, and I'd say again, when I think about reflecting on the past 2 years, I keep coming back to the people. We all suffered our version of the trauma of the pandemic and our version of challenge, whether we were directly or indirectly impacted by the virus itself. But I feel so lucky that the town has this amazing team of employees that really went above and beyond for an extended period of time to serve the residents of the town. And they did it, for the most part, with an incredibly positive attitude and an upbeat spirit. Any of us could be forgiven in the past 2 years for not being 100% upbeat or positive, right? But I continue to be moved by the power of the humanity of those that we have the chance to work with. And yesterday was a day for staff to gather, but I would spread those reflections to many in the community that we had the chance on a volunteer basis or just a resident basis to interact with, get support from, provide services to. I think hopefully as some of the pain and trauma and the loss of the pandemic hopefully begins to fade with time, or at least lessen, some of that pain be lessened with time, that we have the chance to think back fondly on the human connections that we fought hard to maintain and foster over the past 2 years here in town.
The town will continue to monitor ongoing tips with respect to COVID-19 variants and vaccine effectiveness. Town leaders will also report updates as the need arises via town notice.
Envision Arlington invites all town residents 15 years and older to take the 2022 annual town survey, which is now available online. This year's survey asks residents to reflect on community engagement, the impact of the pandemic on community life, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. All survey responses will help town leaders understand the support that the residents need and the types of changes that would address community needs in the future. Several members of one household are invited to respond as well, and as always, all responses will be kept anonymous. The survey is available online at arlingtonma.gov/survey or call 781-316-3091 to request a paper copy by mail. There's a major pain at the pump for motorists as U.S. gas prices soar to record highs. Although the U.S. barely uses Russian oil, Russia's invasion of Ukraine still upsets the balance of world trade. And the importation of oil is no different. ACMi News visited an Arlington gas station to get reaction to what is hopefully a temporary drain to everyone's wallet.
These alarming gasoline prices are being felt townwide, statewide, nationwide, and worldwide. Prices at the pump have been rising rapidly ever since Russia invaded Ukraine last month. Russia is one of the top 3 oil-producing nations on the planet. And as a result, here at Arlington Service Station along Mass Ave, everybody is feeling the pinch.
Well, I think that it's something that we have to just live with right now because of the current world situation. Well, I remember waiting in gas lines in 1973, and this is really not anything like that yet. But if we have to go to rationing later, I guess that will be the next step. We're both working at home since the pandemic started, and so far we haven't really had to fill up very often, not like the old commuting days.
Bay State drivers are shelling out more money than ever before to fill up their tanks as motorists wonder when they will start seeing the prices drop at their local gas station. Here at Arlington Service Station along Mass Ave, it's $4.15 for a gallon of regular unleaded cash, $4.19 credit, which is a little cheaper than most gas stations in the town of Arlington. And who knows how long prices will remain this high Experts say the country is currently in uncharted territory amid the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The state's average regular gas price hit $4.16 a gallon on March the 7th, the highest ever price recorded by AAA in the Bay State. Gas prices have shot up an average of 54 cents in just a week. That's a weekly surge of 15%. Given the nature of the conflict in Ukraine and the fact that it continues to escalate, that's not good news for consumers, especially since many motorists are going back to work as we slowly crawl out from under the shadow of the COVID-19 pandemic.
What can we do? Our hands are tied. You can't do anything about it. Once they make a stand that you have to pay so much more money for the gas, for the food, for everything, what can you do? You have to pay it.
It's not my favorite. I don't really enjoy it. I remember when I started driving, I was 16. It was $2.15 a gallon or something. Not the case anymore.
Do you drive a lot?
Yeah. I mean, $4 for a gallon, not fun.
Abraham, what have you been hearing from people coming into the gas station, especially in the last few weeks when prices have gone sky high, none of it of which is your fault?
Honestly, we have all kind of different stories, so most likely we have no control. We don't even know what's going on. The price is going up and down, which is we don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow.
What are some of the complaints you've been getting?
Gas prices going up. Most likely it's not only gas prices going up, most likely everything is going up.
As we all feel the pinch for whoever knows when, AAA has several steps to help you save money at the gas pump. Buy regular gas. Slow down to be more fuel efficient. Properly inflate your tires. And here's a tough one. Drive less, if possible. For ACMi News, I'm Jeff Barnes.
3 Arlington police officers were honored this week for their brave and quick response in saving lives. All 3 were awarded meritorious service ribbons for the Chestnut Manor fire that killed 1 person and displaced dozens more. Just 1 day later, police and other emergency personnel managed to pull 3 people from a not-so-frozen Spy Pond as they fell through the ice. ACMi News spoke to Captain Richard Flynn, who's grateful that APD officers are recognized for going above and beyond.
We have a robust employee recognition program here, and it's especially in this day and age, Jeff, it's important to recognize our officers and the good work that they do and the good work they've always been doing. And, most recently over the winter, I think people will remember that we had a specific spell of time where it was cold and then things warmed up a little bit, and we had some ice down on Spy Pond that wasn't safe. And in the very same area, we had a couple of people go in that day. Officer Mike Hogan, no stranger to our employee recognition program, goes down and actually throws it was actually a system that he made himself. He said, you know what? He had been through it before. He had seen it before. He had got a length of rope and he had created a throw, and he actually went down. It was unsafe to go out onto the ice. We don't want people going out into the ice and becoming a victim themselves. He was smart enough to get this out of his car. He had it in his car for about 4 or 5 years, hadn't been able to use it, took it out, threw it out to the party, helped get the party out of the ice, and probably saved that person's life. So again, our program here is that we hold our officers accountable. And when they do good work like this, we love to get them out in front of each other and recognize them for that. So Officer Hogan did a great job. And then there was also the fire at the Arlington Housing Building. There were officers Urquhart and Guanci. That's trying to remember exactly time. That's about 4 o'clock in the morning they go out there, and it's a real dangerous time. And they go out there, and there's heavy smoke in the building, and you have an older population that lived in that building, and it filled up that hallway. I saw a video on that hallway and how quick that hallway filled up with dense smoke from. It was 0 to 60. It was amazing at how quick that filled up. The officers went in and they actually ended up carrying out some people, and no question saved some people's lives there. So, Officer Scott Urquhart and Thomas Guanci, fantastic work, and we love to recognize that. They do a fantastic job, and it's dangerous for us, but sometimes you get to do something that changes another person's life every day too. So although the job is difficult and dangerous, it's also very rewarding at this. And we love to get these officers out in front of each other and recognize them. And you know, you have to do that. And we're blessed with some fantastic men and women here at the APD.
Arlington Police Chief Julianne Flaherty said in a statement, quote, "Thank you all for a job well done." What's happening with Arlington High students this week? We welcome Sol Yudowski to our Studio A with a look at this week's Ponderscope.
Thank you. Hi, and welcome back to the Ponderscope. John A. Bishop Elementary School is hosting their annual Bishop Cultural Fest on April 10th, 2022. The event organizers are looking for volunteers to set up the event and host tables, and are offering community service hours. Opportunities are available from 1:30 to 4:30 in increments of 30 minutes. The sign-up sheets will be linked below. On the same note, the Arlington Town Visitor Center is in need of volunteers on weekends from late spring through early fall. They would require volunteers to set up and close the visitor center each day and help guests and citizens. Volunteers will help answer questions related to the town, such as helping to point guests towards various restaurants, attractions, and other related topics and locations. Volunteers would go through a brief training session before volunteering, and there is no requirement that you have extensive knowledge of the town of Arlington. If you're willing to help out in being a friendly, positive attitude, reach out to crangelo89@gmail.com. And finally, good job and good luck to the Arlington girls hockey varsity game, who will be playing in the TD Garden this Sunday. Thanks for tuning in this week. I'm Sol Yudowski, and this has been the Ponderscope. Back to you, Paul.
Thanks, Sol. The state title has always remained elusive for Arlington High's girls hockey team, but now the Spy Ponders have the chance to make history at TD Garden.
They're currently on a roll. The matchup for the state title at TD Garden is set for Sunday, March 20th.
ACMi News talked to John Bowler, the athletic director for Arlington High School. Bowler tells us he couldn't be more proud.
And finally, Arlington clears the zone. Tried to be kept in by the captain, Catherine Sweeney. Arlington back the other way. There's a shot. Score! Krapelka with a shot in the upper corner.
John, first of all, congratulations. You have got to be pleased being athletic director at AHS and seeing such success, especially with the girls hockey team and the boys hockey team. The last four in the state, and they went into double overtime. A heartbreaker, but they got to be proud and hold their heads high.
Yeah, no, it's been, both hockey teams have had, great seasons. The girls, and they're, 22-1-1, that's the furthest they've ever gone in the state tournament, probably the most wins they've ever had in a season. They're playing outstanding, won the Middlesex League title for the fourth straight year. It's just a great group of student athletes who, do stuff the right way on the ice and in the classroom and in the community. And it's great to see all their hard work paying off by, getting to play in the Boston Garden, in the state championship. It was a great, Monday night, they played down in Bourne, Mass. And it was, unbelievable to see all the excitement and joy from them. And then, also from their parents, the tears of joy from their parents, from the, all I thought about was like the years when they probably took them to skating lessons and were tying their skates to taking them to practices and games, and, traveling all through New England and playing these tournaments. And, especially, that moment of them getting to the Garden, it was a lot of stuff leading up to it to get to that moment. And it was, I was so proud to be a longtime Arlington resident to see that, with the girls on the team and like the parents.
I mean, this is part of life. I mean, you're learning a lot. Obviously, you're playing the sport. You want to win. Everybody wants to win, but it's also a lot more than that. It's a lot deeper than that.
Oh yeah. I mean, like as I used to coach basketball at Arlington High, and like the best teams I had were when it was like a family. The kids like loved each other, loved spending time with each other. Practice was like them just hanging out. It wasn't like a job or a chore. I mean, like our girls hockey team, I think they love spending time with each other. They love going to practice. They love, bus rides. They love it all, and especially after last year, which was a COVID year when there was really, there was no bus rides. Everyone got the games on themselves. It was like limited practice time. So it's, I think they enjoy every moment. They've enjoyed every moment of this season, and they deserve it. They work hard. They work together. They play for each other. They play for their coaches. The coaches have worked so hard as well to get them to this point, and that's why they get the opportunity to play in the Boston Garden for a state championship. I think it's every student athlete's dream to, to basically to skate on the Boston Garden, ice, where, many greats have played, and to be able to skate on that ice in front of your parents, your friends, your community. I think it's going to be a special moment that, they'll remember for the rest of their lives.
You have a new high school being built, quite obviously, and it's going on schedule and so far under budget. You may have to shell out a few more bucks for an extra room for all the trophies.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's we'll definitely find room for these trophies. They're definitely these MIA trophies are hard to get, so it's like when you get one, you want to display it so everybody can see it.
You have to be looking forward to the new season, the spring season coming up. You have a lot of things coming up.
Yeah, the spring season, it starts on Monday, March 21st, which was, tryouts and practice with baseball, softball, lacrosse, tennis, and track. So it's hopefully I got everybody. Yes, I mean it's these seasons, they go right after each other, and there's going to be some hockey players on the girls team that are playing hockey Sunday night, and then they're going to be playing lacrosse or track, tennis on on Monday afternoon. So it's and I think we have almost 500 student athletes signed up to try out for spring sports. So it's it's been great.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sign off. I'm Ken Koberg, your sports broadcaster for AC Arlington Community Media. We thank our crew and our camera people tonight, and we congratulate the Arlington Spy Ponders on a tremendous comeback victory from the Eddie Burns Arena in Arlington. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night and drive safely.
And from all of us at ACMi, go Spy Ponders, and we thank you for a wonderful and exciting season. ACMi has been lucky enough to rely on the valuable help of interns, so this station can continue airing the program you see here every day.
And this spring semester is no different. So who are ACMi's interns for these months going into the late spring, early summer semester? Well, I'm one, so there's that.
And there are 3 others, all interested in telling a story using the magic of video.
One is interested in broadcast journalism, one is interested in sports, and the other, she tells her tale in a rather film noirish style.
I would think it was more of a pulpish police story cinematic approach.
Film noir.
Pulp, Drew.
Film noir.
Pulp. It's pulp.
Tell you what, you be the judge.
Hey everyone, my name is Devin Estefano, and I'm your newest intern at ACMi. I'm originally from Derry, New Hampshire. I'm a Pinkerton Academy High School graduate, class of 2018, and I now attend Suffolk University. I'll be graduating this semester, 2022. Out of all the movies I've seen, I would have to say my favorite is Good Will Hunting. Shout out Matt Damon and Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
The reason I wanted to intern at ACMi is because I needed to gain valuable experience in the sports production field. I felt like this was a great place to do it. I think there's great people around me that will definitely enhance my skills as a journalist. Out of all the aspects of production, I would have to say my favorite part is the editing process. It allows you to be creative and really bring the project to life, which is something I really enjoy.
Hi, I'm Marielle Tamir-Pinsky. I'm a sports intern here at ACMi. I originally was born in Chicago, but I've grown up in Arlington my entire life. I'm currently a senior at Arlington High School, and for college I plan on majoring in either communications or broadcast journalism. My favorite TV show would definitely be Friends. I've watched it way too many times. I even wrote my college essay about how I'm so similar to Monica. But basically it's just because I'm a huge Jennifer Aniston fan. I chose to intern with ACMi because I knew I would gain a lot of hands-on opportunities while working in the industry, but I would also be working with my community. Okay, now let's play a game. 3 facts about me, 2 are going to be true, 1's going to be false. Can you guess the lie? Number 1, all my teeth are fake. Number 2, I'm a huge Yankees fan. Number 3, sushi's my all-time favorite food. Which one is it? My favorite part of production would definitely be filming. I love to film athletic events because I like to capture the action. And then it's your basis for the entire product. That's it. Bye.
All right, Renee, spill the beans. Why are you at the ACMi?
Well, I just thought, it would be a really good way to fill in some of the gaps that film school couldn't teach me.
A likely story. Well, if you're such a film school film brain, what's your favorite movie?
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
The Grand Budapest Hotel. What's really your favorite movie?
Titanic, okay?
It won plenty of Oscars. Why you got any sort of shame in hiding it? All right. You want to play games? I'll play a game with you. I want to give me 2 truths, give me 1 lie.
Okay. I almost died in the bathroom of my high school nurse's office.
Mm-hmm.
I'm allergic to peanuts and tree nuts. I've never been outside of New England. If you guess it wrong, you have to let me go.
That's not how justice works. All right. Well, now I'm asking the questions, but I'm really tall now. So here's a question for you. Where are you from and what kind of film do you want to go into?
I'm from New Hampshire, and I think I like pre-production more. I just really enjoy creating a story out of nothing and creating screenplays so I have something to film.
A likely story.
If you or someone you know wish to become an ACMi intern, all you have to do is give us a call at 781-777-1115. Again, that's 781-777-1115.
That'll do it for this week's edition of ACMi News. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Drew Weisberg.
And I'm Paul Werlin. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you next week.
You can always check out our latest segments and newscasts on the web at acmi.tv/news. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ACMi News. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You'll find us at youtube.com/ACMi News. If you have any news tips for us or wish to become a citizen journalist, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at news@acmi.tv or stop by ACMI Studio A at 85 Park Avenue.